Relatively the same as the profile.
And the other question is, do you use a tool or active sense? Do you have to update it?
You will.
You have to.
So that's the idea. Once the 09 returns come in, you'll have to forward those into the institution, and your financial aid package will be updated. So if 08 was a bad year for you, and you submit that return and get a great financial aid package, and then the 09 returns come in and your salary's back to normal, then it's going to be, your financial aid award is going to be revised. I wanted to show you,
Is that CSS profile?
CSS profile. Yeah. The Naviance program we purchased 2 years ago, and I tried as hard as I could to get students plugged in to understand what it was capable of at that time, and it's been sort of I guess you'd say it's been a work in progress. But more recently I've sort of pushed students into using the resource by using this as the sole venue to announce college visitors. It's important for that reason, but it's important for many more. I want to illustrate some of the features of the program, but then I'm just going to point you in the direction of my website here at the school and let you run with it. You may have received my an email that I sent out a week or so ago, briefly describing the program, asking you if you'd like to receive your registration code. It took me a while to get to you, maybe because, click on Upper School, because I was responding to you all manually, because we couldn't get our email system and the Naviance program to communicate with one another, sort of like the intelligence agencies of the United States government. So we click on College Advising. By the way, we've got some, and then here there is a link, Rudy's Media Gallery, to Naviance. To the right is my the Lausanne Collegiate School College Advising YouTube channel, and I have created a 4-parted screencast, which will give you precise. It's a narrative. I mean, I'm working from a computer, but you'll hear my voice. I don't know if you can hear. So you put your headphones on, and it will walk you through how to use the program. And then down here in the corner, I've got some just little gems that I found on YouTube that I thought were pertinent to you. This was an interview with the Dean of Admissions from Harvard, where he talks basically about the mystery of how do kids get into Harvard. For many people, it is a mystery. Tom New thinks it's a lottery. There's really there's a lot that goes into it, and he talks about that. But I would like to encourage you, if you haven't plugged into that Naviance program, even though your child is a senior, there's still information on here that's helpful to you, that can be helpful to you. And many of you have other children still younger, and as they grow up, you're going to want to use this tool as well. Here on the main page, I've just got little bulletins that are important. The UT Knoxville scholarship deadline, because I know several students apply to UT Knoxville even if they might not plan to attend. I've got an information link here about Dartmouth visiting in Memphis on the 16th. Usually I've got a time so after the event is over, the post will disappear. I'm going to come down here to the visit schedule, because this is really critical. I've given you in what I believe is about the 4th or 5th page a list of scheduled college visits. We probably only had about maybe we've had 10 visitors. We had Bates College, Bowdoin, which is a fine school, Savannah College of Art and Design. But the bulk of them are coming. Furman was here today. I wrote an email to one of our parents this morning, and he had asked me to get his son plugged into the Furman visit, which we did. And I wrote back to the parent. I don't even think he'd mind me telling you who he was, but trying to impress upon him the reasons he was right in encouraging his son to go to those visits. As adults, we know that when there is an opportunity for something to go in our favor or against our favor, the odds are good that it's going to go in our favor when there is a human connection. More and more and more, we hear from admissions deans across the country about a variable that didn't used to be talked about much, which is called demonstrated interest. So, in this email I was writing, there's going to come a time at many colleges when someone asks this question: have you visited? I'll tell you, in my last year at Wabash, we basically got to a point where we had adopted a policy that said, with very few exceptions, talking about international students, if you haven't visited, we don't care how good you are. We will not admit you. And that is true of many schools. And not just running over to the campus and walking across the lawn. They won't know you were there. You have to register through the admissions office and let them know you're coming. Do an official visit. What about the possibility of doing an alumni interview in Memphis? If it's, let's say, Dartmouth, maybe you're not going to be able to get out there, or maybe you're only going to get out there once. What about taking some initiative, calling the Dartmouth Office of Admissions and saying, is there an alumnus of Dartmouth who lives in Memphis who would be willing to speak with me? I'd like to ask for her advice. I'd like to have an advice interview with you. What about writing a handwritten note? These are the reasons I'm interested in your school. I hope you'll give my application all due consideration. What about going over to the Memphis Agri Center College Fair and making sure that you find the Dartmouth table so you can walk up and hold your hand out? People remember these things, and it's much more difficult to say no to a person when you know them. And sometimes in the business of admission and in the business of merit scholarship, things come down to a very, very fine point, and sometimes very, what may seem like mundane sorts of issues become germane quickly. Questions so far? I don't know about you. Isn't this an impressive list of colleges?
When they come, what happens?
So the question was, when they come, what happens? Basically, I'll have the rep. I always try to be here. Sometimes I'm not. And when I'm not here, I've asked Dr. New to welcome them in my stead when I'm at the NACAC conference in a couple, I guess that'll be next week. We'll have somebody here from Davidson and some other places. We'll have Dr. New visit. But basically, we sit down and talk, share what's going on, what's new at Pomona, and then I tell them what's new at Lausanne. It's an exchange of information, friendly, and then we'll go and find the students. Typically, I make a PA announcement. My design was I wanted for students to sign up through the Naviance system. Okay, that's what I'm working toward.